Hello. Good evening or good afternoon. How's it going out there? We're just a little bit early, so we're gonna wait till the top of the hour to get started. But I'm just here hanging out, letting people in. Good afternoon, good evening. We're just 5 minutes away from getting ready to start. So if you're here early, it's cool. Just hang. Hello, fellow human tapping travelers. We're just 3 minutes away still from getting started, so gather your energies and get yourselves ready. If you want to throw in the chat where you're signing in from, that would be lovely. I'm signing in from Connecticut. If you're driving, obviously don't type in the chat. We see you, we love you. Good morning, Australia. Hi. Good morning. Oh my goodness. Wow. I was saying good afternoon and good evening, but there's some good mornings out there, of course. Hello. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi from Santa Monica, my old stomping ground. Very cool. Nice to see you here. So good to see these beautiful smiling faces, fellow tappers, fellow healers, fellow people trying to awaken in this beautiful thing we call Earth. It's so good to see all of you. Just another minute or so before we dive in. I want to give stragglers a chance to get here, and we're still about a minute ahead of 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or whatever time it is in the morning for you guys in Australia. 8 a.m. Thank you. Okay, so for some people, it's about to be 8 a.m. For some of us, 3 p.m. For some of us, 6 p.m. and probably every other gradation in between. Yeah, welcome everybody. 6 p.m. New Jersey. Oh, yeah, I'm in Connecticut. We're neighbors. Hi, Elizabeth. Okay, so it's six. It's okay. It's the top of the hour, let's say, and so we're going to begin. Tonight's topic is something that's really near and dear to me. Actually, I see a whole bunch of people piling in right now. So why don't we just wait one more minute just to keep it nice and relaxed. Nobody has to rush and feel crazy. That's the opposite of what we're going to try to do here. We're going to slow down, tune in, tap in, and get turned down a little bit into some calm, peaceful energy. Okay. All right. Well, welcome. We've got a quorum, so let's start. The topic tonight is befriending the mind. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about first of all, hi, my name is Brian. I should start with introducing myself, right? My name is Brian Hogan. I am a life coach, filmmaker, and clinical therapist, and I work with EFT as one of the mentor trainers. And I love EFT. It's helped me so much in my life. I'm also an IFS therapist, and so I've combined EFT and IFS in my own healing journey, and I use that with clients. And one of the beautiful things about that is the way it allows us to sort of detach and get some distance from the struggles. And that's what this topic tonight is going to be about too, befriending the mind. This topic is rooted in something called acceptance and commitment therapy. That's where the idea of seeing the mind as a friend and then learning how to like detach from it as your identity so that you can actually see it as a friend. That's where the idea comes from. But before we dive into the topic, I just want to give everybody a really warm welcome. It is so nice to have so many fellow human travelers in one room because you prioritize healing and wholeness and integration, and you want to learn more about how to apply that and how to apply tapping and how to get to the bottom of your own mind. I find that so inspiring. And so I'm so glad you guys are here, and I cannot wait to dig deeper into this. So, by a show of hands, in the sense of put a one in the chat if this applies to you. Let's do it that way. How many people can relate to the idea of having an inner voice in their head? Just let me see some ones if that's true for you. Okay, that's most of us. And so again, put a two in the chat if that inner voice that you can identify with is oftentimes mean. Yeah, right. Okay. Or what about, let's put a three in the chat if the inner voice isn't mean, but just tries to talk us out of things that we think might be exciting because it wants us to stay safe, let's say, or because it thinks we're not up to the challenge. Yeah, exactly. Me too. I can relate. We all have this little guy or gal or non-binary entity inside of our brain, and it's it's so deeply embedded that it's been, not only is it being validated by science all the time now in many, many different areas, but there's like many, many ancient traditions that have many, many different names for this like inner voice, for this sort of nonsense word chatter that we have going on that we call the mind and that we usually just try to like fully live with. So there's in Buddhist traditions, they call it papancha. In Toltec Mesoamerican traditions, they call it matote, which literally translates as like marketplace. So it means like everybody shouting in your brain all at once. And in Native American traditions, they call it Watiko, which is similar, but it's also got this grasping, greedy quality to it. And that's the thing. That's the thing with our mind when we live in the verbal mind, which is the part of the mind we're going to befriend tonight, the part that talks in that voice in our native language and has our attention all the time. That voice is run by the left brain. And so that voice is about control. It's about safety. It's about planning. The goal of that whole apparatus and all the words attached to it is to figure things out and to analyze things in order to keep us safe. The word analyze literally translates it from whatever the ancient, I forget now, language, but it means to chop up. So like that's what you do in analysis is you're chopping up. And what we're going to do tonight instead is the opposite of that. We're going to synthesize, we're going to integrate by using the tapping and using the acceptance and commitment therapy concept of befriending our mind. Monkey mind. Yeah, exactly, Richard. That's, in fact, I picture my mind as a little monkey. And we'll get into that in a second because I'm going to ask you all to personify your mind as something and then give it a name. Um, yeah, so let's do that really quickly right now. Actually, if anyone has a name for their mind already that they use, feel free to share it with us in the chat if it's not too personal. My mind's name is Buster, and I call him that because he likes to bust my chops all the time. But it helps me to have a name for my mind because then when I notice all the chatter in there, it's unmistakably not me. And instead, it's Buster, as opposed to being like, oh my God, my mind is all over the place. I have crazy thoughts. I can't believe I'm thinking like this. I should be ashamed of myself, whatever the voice is. Instead, that's just Buster. I know that that's just Buster. And so it's easier to say, ah, okay, Buster, you're showing up again. And I can be thankful for Buster's appearance in my life and then say, but I'm going to do whatever actions I was going to do anyhow. So if as I'm saying this to you, this is resonating at all, I would love it if you guys, even if it's just for tonight, you don't have to commit to like naming your mind for your whole life if you don't feel ready for that yet. But for tonight, can you picture your mind as either a scared child, a wounded animal, or a friend in need? Some kind of thing that elicits compassion sort of automatically from us humans. So okay, yeah, you guys are, some people are putting the names of their minds in. Yeah, so if this is resonating and if there's an image coming to you, or even if it says sensation in there and you can give it an image, go ahead and put it in the chat if you feel okay with that. What's the name of your mind? If anyone's struggling with this and you need a little bit of help, you want to name your mind, but you're not sort of feeling how to do that, go ahead and call it out in the chat too, and we'll get into it a little bit. Because the beauty here is, and the only, you can't get this wrong. You can say the name of my mind is mind, and that's fine. That's not wrong. It's like literally whatever you want, because the idea here isn't to find the perfect right answer, which is, of course, what we all want to do in a situation like this because of how we were socialized by our cultures to learn to get the right answer all of our lives. But in this case, it's not about getting the right answer at all. It's about uh, practicing a technique to give ourselves a little bit of distance. They call it cognitive diffusion. So instead of feeling fully identified with all of the overthinking, we instead give that overthinking a name and we can pull it out. So instead of it being like, I'm not good enough, it's like, oh, there's Buster saying I'm not good enough. Thank you, Buster. I appreciate that. But I'm going to go ahead and do the thing anyway, even though you think I'm not good enough. Sweetie, that's a beautiful name. Yeah. Okay. So it's overthinking right now, trying to find the right name. Yes, exactly. Because that's the whole point. That's what our minds have been trained to do since childhood. Overthink and overthink and overthink until you get the exact right answer. In this case, there's no right answer. So if it resonates, let your mind know that your mind can't get it wrong, and you can call it, or your mind can call itself whatever it wants. Yeah, beautiful. Little Laura, Jeannie, these are great. No name, never think of naming. Okay, that's okay. I mean, you can actually identify your mind for tonight's practice. You can say, okay, hi, no name. That's okay too, right? Like, as long as that doesn't feel at all disparaging within your own system. Whatever you're doing here, we want to make sure that it's friendly. We're going to befriend this entity we call our mind that usually we don't know how to pinpoint because, like people are saying in the chat, they've never thought to name it or it doesn't have a name. So that's why our thoughts take over and they can hijack us because we don't really know what that entity is. And so it becomes our identity instead of just our mind. Our mind, an analogy that really helped me with this is to think of the mind, it's like the heartbeat the way the mind pumps out thoughts. You would never try to stop the heartbeat from pumping blood. That's its medium. And it does that in order to keep you alive. The neocortex is a brand new little part of the brain, and its whole job is to pump out words. So our goal isn't to stop it from pumping out the words because A, that's almost impossible. I've never been able to do it in my whole life. But what we can do is let the word factory, the papancha, the matote, the watiko, we can let it operate how it was intended to operate in the background, just like the heartbeat. We don't have to say beat, beat, beat. Could you imagine? Oh my gosh, we would like never get anything done. It just happens. It just happens. The heartbeat just happens. That's the same with this. The word beats just happen. They just happen. The problem is our culture has told us keep track of all of those, make sure that you realize they're you and everything that you're thinking is your fault and that it says something negative about you if you think negative things, like, and all of that. And so we've got this wrong. No, it doesn't say anything about you one way or the other if your heart beats 32 beats a minute or 42 or whatever. I mean, maybe it does. I'm not a doctor, but but in terms of like the content of your mind, it's like it's meaningless. That's what these wisdom traditions are trying to say with these words. It's meaningless. You can let it go. The mind is meant to serve a purpose sometimes. The rest of the time, we can let it operate in the background. I find that much easier to do if me and my mind are friends. If my mind is still an enemy or still some kind of antagonistic force, it's not going to want to go to the background. It's like, how dare you? I'm running the show. But it doesn't realize it feels better once you befriend it. It doesn't want to run the show. Your mind is not intended to run the show. We're meant to be heart-centered, heart-led, body-led. That's what the tapping helps us to do. Is this making sense to people? Put a 1 in the chat if this is making sense to you and you're tracking along. Give me a 4 in the chat if you're wildly confused and you need a little bit more clarity. I just want to see the difference here. Okay, good. All right, awesome. So everybody's tracking along. This is great. So if you don't have a name for your mind, go with no name or go with mind. If you found a name, use the name as we go through the couple rounds of tapping here. What I'd like to do is we'll go through a beginning tapping, we'll do a round, and then after that round, if anybody wants to share, we can come on and I can you can raise your hands and we can unmute and you guys can sort of share what's going on if that feels safe for people. And then we'll go and do a couple more rounds of tapping and we can share again. All right, so if that sounds okay. Autopilot, that's a great name. Oh my gosh, yes. My mind goes on autopilot too. So Natalie, I totally relate. Okay, so why doesn't everybody go ahead and start tapping on the side of your hand? And let's just take a few nice, deep grounding breaths and just be here now. Whatever pace feels good to you, just let your breathing be natural. You can't get it wrong. Let it be whatever it wants to be. And just arrive in this present moment, remembering we're not here to fight our thoughts or control our thoughts or make them stop. Instead, we're just going to practice noticing them, making space for them, and then still taking steps toward what matters, even if the mind doesn't agree. Even though, oh, and as we do the tapping now, remember, if any of the words I say don't fully resonate with you as truth or liberation, then switch it in real time in your own mind to words that do resonate for you because you're tapping for yourself. So just remember that, like, we're in a group setting here, so nothing but positive regard for each other as we share and changing these words in real time to whatever really strikes the chime of truth inside you, because it's the truth that will set us free. Even though my mind can be noisy, I'm learning to treat it like an ally and not an enemy. Even though my mind gives me scary and unhelpful stories, I respect it for trying to protect me. And if I can't respect it, I do want to. Even though I don't have to believe everything my mind says, I can listen with kindness and still choose my actions. And now, say the name of your mind like this. Hi, Buster. There you are. Right on cue. And then eyebrow. Oh, my glasses. I haven't done it with glasses before. Here's my mind talking again. Side of the eye. It gives me warnings, predictions, and judgments. Under the eye. Some are helpful, some are not. Under the nose. It's just doing its job. My mind is like a radio. On the chin. I don't have to turn it off. I can let it play in the background. Collarbone. I can notice my thoughts without obeying them. My mind is my friend, not my boss. Under the arm. And this is me now, listening without getting hooked by my thoughts. Okay, stop tapping. If it feels safe, close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in through the nose and a nice long, slow exhale through pursed lips like this. And then just sit in this stillness for a moment, being with your mind in whatever capacity it showed up. Your mind might be right there and ready and willing. Your mind might be a little off in the side, skeptical. Your mind might be angry, like, why the hell did you wake me up and bring me here in front of all these people? It's okay. However your mind is showing up is okay. Picture that little creature there, or that little you, or whatever it looks like, and just hold it. And now breathe in curiosity, and breathe your curiosity bigger for this little mind that does so much for you, sometimes so blended with you. And if it feels genuine, just send it a little bit of gratitude for being willing to play with us today. Yeah, and we're going to do one more round of tapping before we share. So go ahead and start on the top of your head. Use your mind's name for this. Thank you so much, Buster, for being here. I don't have to push my thoughts away because I don't have to push you away. Eyebrow. My thoughts can be here even if I don't agree with them. Side of the eye. I have space for thoughts, feelings, and sensations. Under the eye. They can come and go like the weather. Under the nose. I can watch them like clouds moving across the sky. I can hold them lightly. I can thank my mind for trying to help. Collarbone. And I can choose my next step from my values, not my fear. Under the arm. Use your mind's name. Oh, Buster. I'm so glad you're willing to play with me today. And I want to get to know you more. Okay, stop tapping and do that same breath in through the nose. And then nice and long and slow through pursed lips. Would anyone like to share how their mind is enjoying or not the the tapping session? What's coming up for people? Are your minds cooperating? Are you learning new things? Is there a softening? Anything like that happening? A little bit of quieting. Yeah. My mind liked the idea that it did not have to be wrong. Yeah. I know, because we're so socialized, this right or wrong, right or wrong. Just dizzy and yawning, non-judgmental. That's beautiful, non-judgmental, because our minds usually they usually are judgmental and they usually get so much judgment from us. The dizzy and yawning is beautiful. The yawning is oftentimes energetic release. So if you're yawning uncharacteristically, it's a good thing. That's energy moving through you. Feels trusting. Yeah, that's beautiful. I enjoy the idea of externalizing the chatter because the chatter is external. That's the thing. It really is. It is not your identity. It doesn't have anything to do with you. Slightly different words of English come through your little papancha mind based on the shows you watched last night and what your childhood was like, but it's still meaningless. Like it's not anything. So I love that we're enjoying the externalization. Yeah, yawning, calm, all this so good. Okay. My mind was triggered. Yeah, okay, that can happen. So if that's still a feeling, then when we tap this time, give whatever we're saying, give your mind so much permission to be triggered, allow it to feel what it feels, and you just continue to embody the wise and strong force that is okay and can watch the triggered mind. So just let it be triggered. If it feels safe, just allow it to be a little unsettled, and you watch that. Partners, not enemies. Yeah. My mind is saying, what are you trying to do? And I'm yawning, so moving something. Yeah. So in that case, there may be a little resistance too. So that's another one. Just give your mind so much permission to go slower, right? We also want to go fast. It's a tapping circle. Let's heal today and get it right. But if you're just getting to know your mind for the first time, it's awesome if all you do is yawn and your mind wakes up and looks at you and is a little bit skeptical. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. All the blame I put on it, felt a bit of tears. Yeah. Yes, that happens to me sometimes too, and I can really get a sense of how much Buster goes through on my behalf. And then I'm like, oh, wow, I don't give you any credit. Yeah, this is beautiful. Does anyone want to unmute and share something? It's okay if you don't. If you guys don't, that's fine. But if you do, we have time for it. There's room for it. So, yeah, go ahead. I don't know how to say your first name. Is that Emma?
Actually, it's Ema.
Emma. Hi, welcome.
Thank you. So it was lovely. I decided I was torn between. I started to say sweetie, then I didn't do that, and then I thought a little one, and then precious one. But anyway, I settled on little one,
Mhm.
and she is absolutely adorable. So I mean, so the cutest ever. And so she sat either in a chair, then she got in my lap. But you know how little kids swing their feet back and their legs back and forth. She was doing that, just really eager to play and participate and be with me. So it was just heartwarming that she was so cute and tender and I guess what's the other word? Non she wasn't threatened.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's so beautiful. I'm so glad to hear that. So that means then as we continue tapping, there's this willingness between you two. That's lovely.
Yes, exactly. So I think the reason that she is this way is because obviously all the work that I've been doing, because I think that my voice a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago was a lot more critical, maybe not as it might have come in a different form
Hmm.
or with a different persona, let's just say that. It might have been the same form, but a different persona. And so I think part of, I'm grateful. I feel just really, I was a little teary-eyed about how she has developed over the years as I have developed.
Yeah, right on. Ema, thank you so much for sharing. That's beautiful. Yeah. And Teresa, your hand is raised. Can you unmute from the car and
Yeah,
right?
I can.
Hi. Hi.
Um, yeah, I never thought about it like this. I just was like, oh, there's like six of us in here. It's a
Hmm.
whole thing. Um, Jennifer uh likes to act out to take control of situations where everything else is out of control. And um it does not feel comfortable at my root at this is good. This is amazing. I just feel like I need to get out and stretch. I'm really unsettled at the base of my spine right now. It's I
Mm,
we we opened up a can of bees or something. So
yeah.
I'm gonna mute again.
Does that feeling, can I ask if the feeling
Yeah,
that you're feeling, does it feel safe even though it's unsettled?
it does feel safe, but it feels like Millie, like I came in and stirred it with a bigger spoon.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she likes to act up. Jennifer likes to act up and, try to take control of a situation, but this tapping comes in with a bigger, more effective calming spoon. And so, yeah, it does feel safe. It's just uh needs to settle out, in the next couple of rounds. I can feel it.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing that. And that is exactly what we will do. We're going to deepen here and bring it to a place in the next few rounds. But for Teresa and then for anyone else who's having that being a little unsettled with this, you can actually tune into your mind now, and you can ask your mind as we go through the next couple rounds of tapping. Just ask if it would be okay to not overwhelm you, that you really welcome to feel what it wants you to feel, but that you ask it not to overwhelm you and not to flood you, because it so happens that for the most part, our minds will do that for us. But without asking, they don't know our limits. That's the beauty of this. Like, it is a different pocket of sentience than the true you. And so we're tapping into the true us now. And so just check with your mind and say, I want you to keep feeling this, and I want to understand what this is that's unsettling. Can you make sure you don't overwhelm me as we do this? And your mind will very likely agree. It might not even say yes or no, but it will just not overwhelm you in the next round. So keep that in mind. Give that request to your mind if you're feeling even the slightest bit of unsettled as we go deep, especially if it's feeling safe. If there's anyone out there for whom this is not feeling safe, then just abandon ship, because you never ever want to approach anything at all of a healing journey in a place where you're not feeling safe, because it will backfire. So be in charge of your own safety, feel safe and feel really good about this, and then proceed. Okay. So let's tap, let's go a little bit deeper. Why don't you guys go on the side of your hand? Yeah. Okay. Even though I'm getting to know my mind more today, right here and right now, I'm safe. Even though I have mistaken my mind for myself in the past, I can see my mind more clearly now. And I can see myself more clearly now. We are not the same. Even though my mind has a lot of desire to control, my mind is allowing me to work with it today. And I'm so thankful. You didn't have to do that. You don't trust all these other yahoos on the phone. So thank you. Top of the head. I choose to move toward what matters to me. And then use your mind's name. Yes, Buster, even if you don't agree. But it doesn't mean I don't value your input. I do. Uh, Eyebrow. Even with my mind chattering. Side of the eye. Even with doubt, I can take the next small step. Under the eye. I am more than my thoughts. Under the nose. My values are my compass. Chin. My actions can line up with what I care about. Collarbone. I can let my mind ride along while I drive toward my purpose, leading with my heart, following my gut, and being regulated in my nervous system. Under the arm, I choose to walk my path with my mind as a companion, not a captor. Okay, stop tapping. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and then longer exhale through pursed lips. Take a nice deep breath. Keep noticing your body, noticing your mind, allowing whatever's coming up to be. Could be emotions, could be memories, could be epiphanies, could be just a general sense. They're just going to keep coming, thoughts. That's in their nature, but we don't fight them. We acknowledge them, and if it feels genuine, we thank them, and then we keep living our life. So tuning into this part of our mind, I want to ask how that last round there was for people. Has anything shifted for any of the people that were unable to name their mind at the beginning? Have things shifted for you now? For those of you that were able to connect with your mind in the early rounds, has your mind been willing or able to share anything new with you now? Does anyone want to share verbally? If you do, go ahead and raise your hand. There's totally space for that. If not, that's absolutely okay too. And if anyone wants to share anything in the chat about what's been going on for them, that's also absolutely allowed. I was unable to name my mind at first, but it came to mind. Yeah, of course. I mean, and that's so natural too. Like our minds, it's just like meeting any other like they don't know sometimes at first. So I'm so glad that with a little persistence, your mind allows you to give it a name, or your mind gave you its name. That's so great. Just at peace with no name mind. Yeah, exactly. Because we're all different, and it doesn't matter. Like for some people, it's a different whole way of conceptualizing this. Lots of yawning. It's tired and just wants to rest. It's kind of ready to let go of control right now. Yeah, that's great. So we can lean into that. Like allow yourselves to feel really rested right now. And even just for the next 28 minutes, we can let go of control. It's mysteriously quiet in there right now. Oh, you're so lucky. Your voice is very low. Okay, I will speak up. Thank you for telling me that. I go whole hard in the other direction because I'm a theater geek, and so I usually overproject. And so now I'm going to go back to overprojecting, and you guys got to tell me if it's too loud. Okay. The metaphor to the heart is the best explanation I've heard. Oh, thank you. My mind sometimes overrides my nervous system, so acknowledging the nervous system was helpful. Yes, that's the thing. The truth of the matter is we have neurons, brain cells in our brain, the other brain, our heart, our gut, and our nervous system. All of those run on neurons. So we actually are thinking from the heart, the gut, and the nervous system also. We're just not thinking in words, but the same exact kind of process that happens in words is happening. Like we're scanning the environment for threat and safety, we're assessing cost, benefit, and risk. We're trying to make plans and figure it all out. But our heart is doing that, not in English or not in your native language. And same with your gut and same with your nervous system. And so by tuning into that, you actually are tuning into the way thinking was intended to be executed through the heart, with the mind using words to sort of follow along and make our plans. Instead, we use the words right now to define ourselves and define our reality. And then that puts us into a cage. Our reality is just defined by present moment experience, and we're meant to navigate it through our heart. So it really makes so much sense that you're saying acknowledging the nervous system is helpful. And I'm glad that you found that helpful, because honestly, I want us to actually be acknowledging the whole body apparatus. The heart is meant to set the direction. The gut, the function, literally scientific function of the heart is to set our course. And it's got the strongest electromagnetic signal of the body. It feeds to the brain way more than the brain feeds to it. It is the strongest by far. It's like not even debatable. And then the gut also has the brain cells, and it's meant to lead us in the sense of like not setting the course, that's for our heart, but in moment to moment, the gut goes, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. That's why we say follow your gut. I have a gut instinct. Or, your hairs go up on your end and you go, I'm not going to walk down that alleyway. That's your gut thinking, but it doesn't know how to say, don't go down the alleyway because it doesn't know English. So it just, you go, I have a gut feeling. That's what that is. So anyway, I'm in ADHD brain now, and we're off on the side topic. So let me give Decab. Is that how I say your name? I hope I got that right. Your hand has been up patiently for so long. Tell us how it has been going for you today.
Hi. Oh, well, it's been going very, very well. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. It came up for me. I want to ask my mind, which I call scared little girl,
Mm.
to give me more accurate guidance. And now, because I know my heart's functioning pretty well, but I think when it filters through my mind, it gets a little scary. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes total sense. And because the mind, the desire to have the mind give us more accurate guidance is so relatable, and it makes total sense because we live from the mind, and we have been taught to navigate through life by using the mind. And so if we're using the mind to navigate through life and it's not going well, or we can tell we're not getting accurate guidance, we then say we want more accurate guidance from the mind, but that's actually not possible. And I'm not saying that to disappoint you. I'm saying I want to free you. None of our minds are possible to give us better, more accurate guidance. That's not what the mind is for. It's not how the mind is designed. The mind is not designed to give you guidance. The mind is designed to help you communicate in the world with other beings and then build the stuff that your heart has guided you to do. So really, if you want more accurate guidance from the mind, the way to get it is to learn the art of self-doubt. And I don't mean self-doubt about doubting our confidence, doubting our identity, doubting any of that. I mean doubting Papancha, Matote, and Watiko. Learning the art of like, okay, this is just Buster right now. And even though he's scared, he's a scared little boy sometimes, it is Buster. And he will never be able to give me more accurate guidance because he is not connected to my heart. He's made up of my neocortex. And so he can't give me better guidance. The best thing he can do is say, oops, I'm sorry, I forgot. Go head back to the heart. I'll stand by. So that's what we're doing here, is learning to connect with that part that doesn't give great guidance so that we can allow it to settle down and it can begin to trust that guidance will come, and then it will start to fulfill its natural function of supporting the guidance as opposed to trying to create it. I hope that makes sense. And I don't
That's
want to.
wonderful. Thank you. Terrific. Just
Good. I'm so
the
glad.
best. Thank you.
Yeah, heck yeah. Ema.
Yeah, so I have a question about the gut. So the heart is meant to set the direction.
Mhm.
So why does the gut say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no? If the heart is pretty good at setting direction, why is the gut sometimes saying no to that direction and sometimes saying yes to that direction?
Really great question. The gut isn't saying no to the heart. So I'm so glad that you asked that. The heart is the leader. It's the leader of all of our thinking apparatus. And so that's why we even have these expressions we have in English that Hallmark has made into cliches are not an accident. We are meant to follow the heart. It's just meant to be something deeply meaningful, not something saccharine that you put on a Hallmark card. It's like it's so deeply meaningful that we forgot how much it means. So follow the heart, because the energy of the heart, the quality of it, it's like it's not about real-time decision making. The heart is about this course of action broadly sets me free. I want to become an actor. I want to not work in a cubicle. I want to like the broad strokes of our lives that we kind of know, like the things that you lost time doing when you were a kid, like akin to climbing trees. Like what made you as much fun as climbing trees? Like what was that stuff for you? Those are the yearnings of your heart, like the yearnings of your heart that haven't changed since you were 2, or even if they came online when you were 20, then they haven't changed changed since then? Like these unmistakable yearnings of the heart. That's what I mean by it sets direction. It's not wishy-washy. It's not meandering. So the heart's never going to say yes, no, yes, no. It's not how it works. The heart says, I want that, and then locks on, and that's your destiny, right? So to speak. Like, and that can change. And if it changes, you'll know because your heart speaks in the form of feeling liberated. So if you're going towards the thing and at some point in your 40s it no longer feels liberating, okay, your heart has set a new direction. That's fine. You go in the new direction. It's all real-time, perpetual creative response to whatever is present. That's always for all of the apparatus. Think always perpetual creative response. But the gut, the difference is the heart does that thing. That's a sort of a course that's set for you, right? Like the heart set that course when you were 5. It's setting the same course when you're 10. It sets the same course all the time. The gut, on the other hand, is saying, registering for that class, yes. Going to that school, no. Following what your mom said in that email, no. Writing back to your dad tomorrow, yes. It's real time, moment to moment, like do this, don't do this. And it's saying yes to things that it knows are in alignment with the leader. And it's saying no to things that it knows in real time are not in alignment with the leader. It's like the details, the minutia. So it's real time guidance to say, this moment you're getting colder. This moment you're getting hotter. That's the gut, hot or colder. It's a massive game of the game you played as a kid called Getting Warmer, Getting Colder. That's what your gut does, right? Your heart too, but your heart more broadly in the sense of, do I feel liberated or not? Your gut is literally like, hell no, don't do that. And you'll literally swerve on the brakes to not do a thing because of the visceral sensation in your gut. So you can also tell that it's coming from a different place. Like it's not a pang in your heart that stops you from going down the dark alley. It's a twisting in your gut. It's called the enteric nervous system. The enteric something. It's literally the other set of brain cells. So they just operate a little bit differently. Like the language they speak is a real-time language as opposed to the heart's broad life language, so to speak. I hope that makes sense.
That made a lot of sense. Thank you for that explanation.
Right on. Any other questions? My mind was hyper and it's much quieter. Awesome. Too quiet, enjoying the rest. It keeps trying to take over. I need to keep reminding myself to take the distance, which is an interesting tugging back and forth. Yeah, but that's it. What you just wrote there, I hope it's Marcy. You've just described in one sentence exactly what we are doing as a group. This is where the rubber meets the road. We are training our mind to come over here, and then it's going to go, whoa, I'm not used to that. And then we're training it to come over here, and it's go, wait a minute, I belong in your brain. And we're like, no, you're over here. And so that's exactly what it is, a tugging back and forth until the mind realizes the true self is okay in the middle and it can hang out, and it will be relieved eventually once it realizes that. That may happen tonight, that may not, but eventually it will be relieved because it was never meant to be in charge. It's just so used to running the show. That's why most of us complain about being exhausted, because our mind is exhausted and we're running the show from the part that was not meant to run the show. Our hearts have so much more energy. They won't get exhausted running the same amount of stuff because they'll all be in alignment with our true destiny. So we just got to follow the heart. But that is not an advertisement for taking on more than you can chew. That's my socialization. So please just take it slow. Okay, if we learn to build coherence between the heart and the mind, yeah, will that help quiet our monkey mind? Yes, absolutely. Heart Math Institute is on to the same thing. They're just approaching it from the bottom up, like let's strengthen the heart and it will calm the mind. What we're doing tonight is a top-down approach. We're saying, aha, mind, here's your name, and then calming it that way so we can connect to the heart. So it's the same thing. Heart Math is coming this way and we're coming this way right now, but it's the same. So is your mind serving your nervous system to keep you safe? No, that's a great question, Pamela. Our mind is serving the heart. The heart is the leader again. So the mind, all of them are serving the heart, including the nervous system and including the right brain. I conceive of this as we have 5 brains. Brain number 1 is the heart. Brain number 2 is the gut, because that's literally what comes next. You set the direction and then you're navigating in real time. Brain 1 and brain 2. The left brain and the right brain are brains 3 and 4, but they're really like 3A and 3B or whatever, because they're the same. They operate concurrently. And what the left and right hemispheres are supposed to do is execute the plans. They're not supposed to make any plans at all. They're just supposed to execute the plans. And the right brain does it through this like present moment, creative, playful thing. And the left brain does it through words, analysis, details. But they're meant to work together. So the more strong your right brain is, the less hard of a time your left brain will have too. Because we're trying to run our whole show from just half of that brain, just the left half. That's how we're mostly trying to run our lives. And then to get to your question, The nervous system is the fifth brain, but the nervous system's whole job is to keep you safe. So the nervous system is the gatekeeper. While the heart is the leader, the nervous system is the gatekeeper, meaning you won't have access to any of the thinking that happens in your heart, your gut, and your right brain if your nervous system is dysregulated. Because the only reason we can have access to the brain number 3, the left brain, even if we're dysregulated, is because it has the added advantage of speaking in our native language. If it didn't speak in our native language, we wouldn't even have access to that thinking either, because the thinking that you do have access to when you're dysregulated is brain fog, it's poor judgment, it's not good thinking, right? So it is actually also impinged by dysregulated nervous system. It makes its way through anyway because it knows your language, but none of the other guidance will make it through. So your mind is not serving your nervous system to keep you safe. Your mind has nothing to do with keeping you safe. And that's what we're trying to help our minds understand today. Your nervous system's job is to keep you safe. And that's why it's so important to make sure that you're in a rest and digest nervous system state if you're going to go embark on any sort of healing thing. That's why tapping is so powerful. It puts us into the rest and digest almost automatically. It almost can't be helped. And so EFT opens the gate. It opens the gatekeeper. And then from the gate being open, we can then realign our thinking to be brain number 1, the heart, brain number 2, the gut, brain number 3 and 4, the actual brain, and then brain number 5 has already opened the way because it's the nervous system that's telling you you feel safe. If you don't feel safe, you don't have access to any other thinking. Even the verbal mind's thinking is compromised if you're not feeling safe. So I hope that makes sense to answer your question, Pamela. Exactly, released. Sweetie is enjoying it about time. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah. Does anyone else want to share anything verbally before we dive in and do a little bit more tapping or anything else in the chat too? Sean's mind exploded. I'm not sure why, but I hope that's a good thing. Okay. All right, good. So let's tap. Let's just keep going here. Even though this might be entirely new territory for me.
This might be entirely territory for me.
I'm doing great.
I'm doing great.
And my mind is doing great.
And my mind is doing great.
And right here and right now, I'm perfectly safe.
And right here and right now, I'm perfectly safe.
Just FYI, 1 or 2 of you are unmuted. So if you might mute, I think that might help the experience for everybody else, but that's okay either way, don't worry. All right. Even though I've gotten to know my mind a little bit better today, I also know there is so much more to explore. And now use your mind's name. I see you, Buster. And I'm glad you're here. Even though befriending my mind might have seemed impossible before, I know it's possible now. And I accept how I feel. Use your mind's name. Thank you, Buster. I feel like I see you more clearly now. Eyebrow. And I hope you see me more clearly. Side of the eye. I know you're not my real identity. And I know you have my back. Under the eye. I know all of the things you say aren't true. And I know you have my back. Under the nose. You've been working so hard for me for my entire life. On the chin. And I really get that. I really see that. Collarbone. It hasn't always been easy. Our relationship. Sometimes it's been rocky. You've resisted. You've sensed I've judged. But I do know you better now. And I want you to continue to get to know me. Under the arm. So thanks for being here, Buster. Use your mind's name. And I want you to stay with me as we live our lives. You are not my enemy. I appreciate your suggestions. And I've got you now. I've got us both. And if there's anything else you want me to know, I'm here right now. Tell me everything. And then stop tapping. Close your eyes and take that nice deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale nice and long and slow through pursed lips. And then see if your mind answers the invitation to tell you everything or tell you anything. Just see what comes. Yeah. And you may or you may not feel this, an urge or an impulse to make a connection here, to check in with your mind going forward. If this resonates as I'm saying this, and that impulse feels like it's within you, then go ahead and check in with your mind now and see how it might like you to check in with it going forward. If that impulse isn't there, don't worry about it. Don't try to force it, because you and your mind already have a new relationship. It's got a name, or you are comfortable without its name, and you know each other a little better. So that is enough. But if you sense your mind would like a system in place for how you might check in with it, then go ahead and create one. And just take a minute to do that. She's going 100 miles an hour now. Interesting. I don't know in what way, a happy 100 miles an hour or an unsettled 100 miles an hour, but 100 miles an hour. Yeah, interesting. If you want to share more, you're welcome to. She's happy. Oh, beautiful. That's great. Yeah. Well, Buster goes 100 miles an hour too, also when he's happy. So I do get that. Clarence is an organ grinder monkey. Oh, that's hilarious. I can just picture him. I bet you him and Buster would be fast friends because Buster's a monkey too. Um, My mind is saying, enjoy the peace. Yeah. Ah, yeah. So it sounds like your mind is also befriending you. That's beautiful. Yeah. So does anybody want to unmute for the last time here and share anything about the experience they've had with their mind? Maybe even how you might take this forward with you. If you're wondering about that or wanting to think through that, it sometimes can be useful to say it out loud because it just helps it helps Buster sort of commit to the new thing to hear it out loud. It's our voices play a key role in this too, but there is no pressure to share that way. So only if it resonates with anybody. I just want you to know the invitation is there. There are a bunch more comments coming in. Let's see what you guys are saying. I know the difference with its information and my heart leading now. Yes. Exactly. Information is just it's just information. And a lot of it's misinformation. Like our minds are fake news, let alone the mainstream media. Geez. Okay. Thank you so much for this experience. Oh, you're so welcome. Mine is rebelling so much it is keeping me from tapping. So at least I recognize that. Yeah, that is great though. And so there's something beautiful there to explore. And if you've been able to give it a name, then you can always at least hold on to that because you can continue to detach and try to get to know even the part that's rebelling. And if it helps, one thing that might be helpful for your minds if they're rebelling is to just remember that you can notice that and hold that. Like just even though it doesn't feel comfortable and you wish it was different, just shift and say, let it be okay that my mind is rebelling, and then go right back to embodying the wise and strong force that can hold the space for the rebelling mind. Again, caveat, as long as all of this feels safe. If at any point anyone's not feeling safe, you abandon ship and point your compass to the nearest life coach or therapist or, whatever. But within safety, there's so much self-healing we can do. happy, content. She's falling asleep in my lap. Yeah, beautiful. My mind said you are so down. It's hard to come up with positivity about you and your life. Yeah, okay. But that's okay because that's such an like your mind has just given you something about how it feels, something about what it works with. So hold space for that honesty from your mind. You know, great information delivered in a new way. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. Is this part of the IFS training? No, this is actually a this tool, the idea of befriending your mind and naming your mind is a tool from acceptance and commitment therapy. For anyone that doesn't know who's on this call, IFS stands for Internal Family Systems. That's another therapeutic modality that is very similar because in IFS you have a cacophony of parts, which we all do. We have, a part of me wants to stop sugar, a part of me wants to go get a latte. So we have this push and pull within us too. In acceptance commitment therapy, what we've done is just name the whole family and given the family a name. In IFS, you can go in even in a more refined way and get to know the pieces within that family. So that's the difference. I've learned about befriending fear, etc., but befriending mind is this way is a new one. I love it. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, this is such a game changer for me. Oh my gosh, like our minds are we just get led by them, and then I do disastrous things because my mind is an idiot. But my heart is so smart. So now that I lead by my heart, Buster's like, oh yeah, could dodge that bullet. Don't listen to me. And he's like right on board with me abandoning his stupid crap sometimes now. Like he knows he's dumb. Like and he doesn't even mind. Like I'm not calling him dumb. He admits it. So don't call your mind dumb because unless you have this relationship with your mind, it might not like it. It will backfire. So. Yeah, Buster's like, cool it. You're in public. Okay, this has been so interesting. You're very welcome. All right. Well, we just have 5 minutes here. Let me see. Sweetie said it's a good idea to shift your thoughts. The rest of our life should get really interesting. Yeah. Okay. So Sweetie's saying shift your thoughts, and she's your thoughts. So that's great. So that means she's right there, ready to be molded. She's malleable. She's vulnerable to you. So that's lovely. Treat that with honor and respect, that vulnerability from your mind. Love the idea that my mind is just a part of me and that it is not in control. Yes, exactly. It's true. It is a gift to use. Exactly. It is a gift to use. And it's a gift to us humans uniquely, except maybe dolphins, they say, have some kind of like verbal language akin to ours. But there's no real proof because it's not our language, so they can't tell us. And beyond that, it's us. We're the unique ones with this gift. Really interested in understanding the guidance system better. Okay, well, if you are, I actually have a podcast, and I should have just told you this, but I did an episode of the podcast on the 5 brains. So it's called DIY Wellness. You can find it on Spotify or YouTube, and you can listen to a whole half an hour thing on the 5 brains. In fact, there's an episode on befriending your mind too. So if you are in the same boat with Teresa and you want to know more about the guidance system, go listen to the podcast because this is the kind of stuff I always talk about on there. All right, we just have 3 minutes left. So with the last 3 minutes, does anyone want to share? If you do, it's okay. This is the last chance. If not, we will just like unmute and we can all bring our voices into the room and then say a goodbye together. I'm sad this is already over. I want to tap with you guys for 20 more minutes, but yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate this. Why doesn't everybody unmute and we can all just like say, maybe everybody say the name of your mind if you feel safe, and then we can all just say goodbye, and then I'll end the meeting. And then mine's name is Buster.
Clarence says goodbye.
Thank
Bye.
you,
Thank
sweetie.
you. April said
Bye.
bye.
Thank you.
Peace, everyone.
You
Thank
guys
you
are
so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.